up, you guys? It's Audrey and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be I'm not sure if it's been totally requested, but it's something that I was really interested in when it was requested because I've had some trouble with this when I first started ballet, but now I've started to kind of get a hold of it, and I'm not saying I'm perfect and a pro or a professional at this whatsoever because I'm still a student, but I thought that my tips could help you in some way because I do feel like I've been getting better at this the past year, honestly. So I'm just going to be sharing my tips for balancing, and yeah, let's just get right into the video. Some research before filming this video, and I'm going to be telling you some of my personal experiences and tips for you guys, and just a few that I just looked up and wanted to hear what other people had to say. So first is lifting your hips up, and this also has to do with something I'm going to say, but basically if you are back in your hips, Catherine Morgan, this is from her video, like I'm giving her credit for this, she said building, like a building and stuff is, if they build it, you know, like this, then you're going to fall over, but it needs to be straight and then it will stay up and all this. And I think that's really great to think about, and just like keeping your hips, you know, forward, not going back in all this, like keeping your pelvis like really just straight forward, and just having good posture, honestly, is what I think is something really, really big. Because you might think, you know, like going like this helps you putting your shoulders up, because I know a lot of girls at my studio have troubles with that, is, you know, like putting your shoulders up helps you balance, and that's more me in pirouettes, not really normal balancing that happens, but basically just keeping a good posture, making sure you're not, you know, like ribs out, or you're trying to tuck your ribs in, but then just really think about your posture really helps. I know that's probably something you're already thinking about, but I thought I'd just add that in there. And then pushing the floor down is also from her video, and this goes along with what I was about to say for one of my personal tips. So basically just really thinking about like pushing the floor down. My personal experience is a person who came and did a not really a master class, but I don't know, she danced professionally, I don't remember her name though. We were bouncing and passe, and she was going, just squeeze like a lemon, like just squeeze the last remaining juice. You just gotta stay up to balance, and that's really stuck with me when I'm trying to balance. I'm like, just squeeze up, and don't, you know, like don't think about putting your shoulders up, but just think about holding that balance and pushing into the floor. So I just thought that was really helpful, and I've always thought about the squeezing like a lemon for a few months now. After she said that, it like really stuck with me, and it's just those like kind of metaphors or just things to keep in your head I think are really helpful. And then also, now these are just my own personal tips, is you want to feel like you almost have like a toothpick in like because some people like to like go into their hips and just kind of like squeeze in there when they're trying to balance, and that's the same thing with posture, is you just want to feel like something's holding you up. And that kind of goes along with also arms, is what I wanted to talk about. Is arms can really help you balance. I know your arms should be lower, but can't really see. Basically, you don't want to be all droopy, you don't want your shoulders up or anything, but you also don't want to be very closed in and really like trying to hold them. Just really like elongate and like rest your shoulders, because, you know, that's just the same thing as I was saying, is about holding your arms up and stretching them out, because if you don't, then your arm starts kind of like sinking. And personally, I don't think I really had much problem with droopy arms. I don't know though, maybe I have, but because that will kind of sink you into a hip, and you really want to stay on top and pick up your working leg, not the one in passe, but the one on the ground. You want to like lift that hip up, so you're not sinking into it, because you're trying to hold the passe leg up, and you're just kind of like sinking into that hip and all of that, and that's really not going to help your alignment and your posture, like we were already. And that really just goes along with everything. Honestly, just don't sink into your hips, just really lift up, like squeeze like a lemon, basically, is what I'm really thinking about all the time, is just really lifting up out of your hips like you're floating, basically. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I also wanted to mention, before I forgot, is this is a problem I literally still have, and I have to think about, because I'm very open in arabesque, and I really need to hold up my other hip, because I kind of lean, or I'm just like an open thing in like arabesque, your arms and everything, whichever arabesque arm you're doing, but you really don't want to be like I say, like I can't really say this like giving you advice because I still have trouble with this, but I know what I need to fix. So basically you just don't want to pull back, you don't want to like, you know, you really want to just be squared off, and that's a problem I still have. And when I do square off, it really helps. And if you're not squared off, you know, you kind of fall, you kind of go down, and you're not holding all that up. Also, just to improve balance, you obviously need feet strength and leg strength and core strength. So definitely just work on those, and that all around will just help you, but you also, you know, have to put in the work at the bar. Also is, if you feel like you have a balance, and this literally happened to me last night basically, but and then you know your foot's not turned out, and you turn your whole hip, and it's just like you're turning your ankle, and you're just turning your foot, and that's not really turning out, like it's weird. My teacher talks about this a lot, and it's something I'm still trying to understand, but you want to turn out your calf, and you just want to turn that around, and you don't want to turn your whole leg or like your ankle, like you're just like pushing your ankle, because it's not even really good for you. You just want to be like rotating your calf, and yeah, not like the whole 9 yards, because just turning out your foot, and like just sinking into, like it's just all around not very good. You don't really want to think about turning your foot ankle out. You want to turn your calf out, which doesn't really make sense, and it's still like something like I said, but I think I was starting to get a little more last night while in ballet, but definitely something I'm working on. But yeah, also what I want to say is focusing when you're balancing, because my balances have gotten a lot better, and like passe and attitude or arabesque, they've gotten better, and it's really your eye focus and, you know, like your arms, like I've said. But honestly, just finding something, if it's like passe at bar, like focus on something straight before you just squeeze up like a lemon, hold everything up, holding the alignment and everything, that really helps. And just like focusing on your fingers or in arabesque or something, because I don't know, you kind of lose your focus, you don't know where you're looking, and that really helps just to concentrate and kind of like block everything out. But definitely just a review is push into the floor, really just like straighten your leg is honestly what I think is just like pushing that into the floor and just like really straightening, because honestly a bent leg is harder to balance on than a straight leg. Just really try your hardest. And also what I find helpful is putting my passe up higher, because I know a lot of people think it's like below the knee, but all teachers, because then you learn, it's supposed to go a little higher up. I don't know about your studio, but personally it should go a little higher up, and I think really thinking about that and holding it up and holding the calf muscle and like just do it, like it really helps. It's like squeezing a lemon. And yeah, and then for like coupe, like all those different like bounces, little bounces, even susu, is just squeezing your legs and just making sure everything's like pulled up, and that has to do with the lifting the hips and being flat. That really helps, because in those areas you're just kind of like shifting, and you really just want to have your pelvis and everything just flat across and really lift it up. So those were the tips that I've personally learned or have been trying to learn, and a few were ones that I was researching on for you guys. Hopefully this video was helpful. I know balancing can be a really hard thing for some dancers, or you're just naturally born with it. On the other hand, I don't know. Like I said, I've gotten recently a little better at it, but there's always a work in progress. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe right down below, because we're trying to reach our goal of 1K by July 10th, which is my birthday, and I'm thinking that's gonna happen because we're doing pretty good, guys. Give this video a big thumbs up so we can all be pals, and I will see you next time. Bye.